How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back to yet another review. A little bit of bright time on today's Massive Beer Review. A little treehouse. That doesn't suck. But you know what does suck? Losing videos. So first, before I get into everything, two things. One, George. Thank you very much, George. Massive Troll Reviews. You know George. He came back from a Portland trip. And, you go up that way. You got to come home with some treehouse. He brought this back for me. Thank you very much, dude. This is the November 7th version of the beer, 2017. Today's the 15th, so, a week old. You guys can figure out what version it is, hop-wise. I do not know. I do not want to know anything. All I do know is that this beer, why it sucks, it's the fourth time I'm reviewing Bright. If you watch all my reviews, you'll be like, oh, I don't remember that, because all three previous times, something's fucked up. Camera shut down, audio was off, I lost a hard drive at one point. This is the cursed beer. I've never had a beer fail, if I've drank it, reviewed it twice, that's the max I've had it done. I've had this beer a bunch of times, more than the three times I'm going to have it, and then fourth after tonight. It seems like it always fails on me, so you'll probably never see this review, but if you do, good for you. As far as what it says on this can, it says, let's see, keep cold, drink fresh, Bright. Double India Pale Ale, 7.8% alcohol by volume, brewed in Munson, Massachusetts, Treehouse Brewing Company. We're excited that you're holding Treehouse Brewing Company's classic American double IPA, Bright. Bright is carefully crafted to exhibit juicy and authentic new age hop character with notes of grapefruit, clementine, and papaya balanced by gentle bitterness. It is the result for our uncompromising dedication to fresh, progressive, delightful beer. Hope you enjoy with laughter, good cheer, and the company of ones you love. That be that. Like I said, date 11/7. In the can, I actually do dig the can. Bit hippie-ish. What are you going to do? Such is life, but I like the styling. I like your style, Treehouse. You don't suck. Let's put it that way. So yeah, like I said, this is the fourth time I'll try to review this beer. So every time I'll get it, I'll basically try to review it, and I'm sure this one will work. Eternal optimism. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, 2 fingers. I mean, that was a pretty gentle pour, but got a big head out of it. Two index fingers, because I got 2 index fingers. 2 finger head on it. Infinite creaminess, super tight compact bubbles, and she's got a soft haze to her. Nothing too crazy. You can definitely kind of get a bit of color or light or whatever you want to call it through her. Soft yellow. A touch of orange to her, and a very, very, very soft carbonation and little teeny bits of particulate floating around there. Bits and pieces, so. Does she look like a double IPA? Sure. Let's see what she smells like. Definitely getting those citrus vibes in there. You're getting that grapefruit right off the chute. You're getting a bit of that kind of orange in there. Maybe even a hint of kind of like a limey vibe to it. But there is a weedy kind of dankiness to it. Subtle, nothing too crazy, but on the nose, leaning heavy citrus, a little bit of dankiness to it. Nice sweetness to it. Nice kind of halo of green around the whole thing. It just has this soft kind of greenness around it. But yeah, definitely citrus all the way. Grapefruit, orange, a little bit of kind of lime kind of vibes going around in there. So definitely kind of all over the spectrum citrus-wise. So yeah, she smells pretty good. Let's see what she tastes like. Cheers. Man, that's good. Listen, I'm not bitching about having to review this 4 times. You know what I mean? This is kind of a pleasure to review it 4 times. I wish only I had each one of them and they didn't fail on me. At least had a certain portion of it so I can go back and see what I thought about it each and every time. The one I have, actually, the audio screwed up, but I think I can make it out regardless. This is a really nice beer. The balance on this is just absolutely fantastic. The way those straight up, authentic, legit citrus notes kind of bounce off each other and balance off that kind of greeny bitterness. I don't even go weed bitterness, more just green, straight green kind of bitterness. They're not too big, they're not too small, they just kind of very rounded edges to everything, kind of floating up against each other with a really nice mouthfeel. And that's it. There's a sweetness to it, obviously. There's other elements to it. But those are the kind of stars of the show. It's a much maligned beer, I believe. I mean, by Treehouse standards, I should say. A lot of people kind of poop on Bright. You know what I mean? It's something I notice a lot of times. When I went there, last time I was up Portland way when I stopped at Treehouse, I popped in and I grabbed some, and someone's like, "Oh, did you stop at Treehouse?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you have? What do they have?" And I think they had this, and then that's all they had actually. They just had Bright, and then they had growler fills, and the person was like, "Fuck, dude, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Oh, they had Bright. That's all they had." I'm like, "What the fuck do you even mean? I'm sorry." You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird beer that a lot of people just kind of meh over. Now, why does that exist? Why does that meh exist? I mean, people are weird. Is it one of the more widely produced ones, especially back in the day before they kind of expanded? Yeah, I think it was a bit more readily available, so people kind of just, I can get that, so it's not that good kind of bullshit that people typically do. It's not a super haze bro kind of hop thought beer. And sure, the hops are really beautiful in here, and they're really balanced, and they show really well, but they don't give you that super sweet, over-the-top New England style hazy IPA thing going on. So I think that's another reason why. And I just think people are kind of jerks and weird and spoiled and don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I think that's a portion of it too. Because I think this is actually a fantastic beer. Are there batch variations? Absolutely. Based off memory, this is probably one of the better balanced ones I've had as of late. The way the hops kind of play each other and that combination of a mouthfeel. I remember having a smaller, thinner, not even thinner, more like non-fluffy, syrupy kind of mouthfeel to it. Not close to syrup, but you get what I'm trying to lay down. It comes off a bit softer, a bit more gentle, and definitely not a bad thing, because it's a fucking tasty beer. I think a lot of people just kind of just don't whatever. So anyway, back to the game here. Let's see what we got. I mean, the citrus thing, that's what leads away from it. On here they have like clementine and papaya and all this kind of stuff. It's a citrus beer for me. Can you get tropical fruit off it? Sure. Can you get a little bit of stone fruit on it? Fine. But it's citrus leads the way from the pithiness. The way it comes off, it's a grapefruit orange thing that's definitely leading the charge. That soft kind of green bitterness falling throughout. Let's see. Is it one of the better double IPAs I've had as of late? In the conversation, not on the outside looking in, on the edge. Even though I really enjoy the beer, there are ones that do a little bit better for me, so it's more those doing better to me than this one being one of my favorites. I still think it's a fantastic beer, and I would never in a million years push it away. Value and availability, I forget what they charge for this again. $16, give or take, a 4-pack, and brewery only. Obviously, maybe not that much longer once Treehouse gets their shit going full bore up there. And if you like what we like this, if you like good hop forward beer, because that's what this is. Really well made, thoughtful, delicious, tasty hop forward beer. If you're into that, you'll be into this because it's pretty tasty stuff. And that does not suck. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff and things. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tapped. Massive Beers. All 4 of those places if you want to check this dude out somewhere else. And another every down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a Treehouse Bright right now. And hopefully this recording didn't fuck up. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.